Hi. Thanks to Mr. Kotaro, I joined or I participated the Facebook, and I succeeded to link with the Facebook and Twitter and YouTube. And because my Twitter will be connected, most of the tsubuyaki from YouTube, the English conversation. So again, here I am again. I'd like to mention about the 300 miracles. 300 miracles means that when I stationed in Jakarta, Indonesia, I didn't know a word of Indonesian language, and I used the textbook of Indonesian language from Japan Embassy or something, which contains 300 Indonesian language. And I think within 3 years, I learned about 300 Indonesian language. And then very, very strange thing happened. At the beginning, of course, I used English conversation with the company staff and bank staff. Most of the conversation was done by English conversation. But gradually, I started using Indonesian language. And after 3 years, I think I had mastered 300 vocabularies of Indonesian language. By that time, my Indonesian conversation was more fluent than English. At that time, I think I had the English words about 9,000 or 10,000, which is 30 times larger than the English, the Indonesian vocabulary. But still, as far as the conversation is concerned, my Indonesian conversation were much more fluent than English conversation. That was almost a miracle. So that's why I said 300 miracle. And the reason is, of course, the most, number one reason is the Indonesian language was very easy for us Japanese, because there are not verb tense. That means, in English, there are 12 tense, but in Indonesian language, you just add the adverb, future adverb, past adverb, something like that, So it is very, very easy for us to master the Indonesian language as a beginner, of course. And the second one, I think in English there is a article, 3 articles, and the, depending on the noun, you have to change or you have to worry about them. But in Indonesian language, there are no such rules, grammatical rules, and also there are no plural form of noun. This is great advantage for us Japanese, because in Japanese language there are no articles, there are no plural form. So this verb, tense, and noun variation very similar to Japanese language. So I feel when I speak Indonesian language, very, very free, So with only 300 vocabularies in a daily conversation, are more fluent, more freely I can talk. And this feeling I confirmed with my wife. I asked her if my Indonesian language is more fluent than English conversation. She said yes. Not only my wife, my children also admitted that my Indonesian language is better than English conversation. This is just a miracle within 3 years. And then after I came back from Jakarta, Indonesia, I started thinking a few years later maybe, I was wondering why I could master the Indonesian language so fast. And then I found out these the grammatical rules. And then I thought, maybe, if I neglect the grammatical rules in English language, then I should be able to speak English conversation much more fluent as well as Indonesian conversation, because I had at that time, as I said before, 9,000 or even 10,000 vocabularies in English language. Why I cannot speak? And then I try to forget about the English grammar when I speak Japanese, I mean the English conversation. But for the last, the 30 years, 40 years, oh no, much longer than that, since I started learning English is 12, so almost 60 years. Because of the habitual thinking, without or before I know, I come to think the English grammar. While I'm speaking now English now, I still thinking about the English grammar. This is because the English education in Japan, most of the radio or TV or any media, English conversation when I watched, they always stressed how to pronounce the correctly, how to say, to mean exactly what you mean. But forget about that. If you worry about so much about the pronunciation, how to express yourself, or grammatical rules, then your rhythm of the conversation is lost. So that's what I'm thinking about the English conversation right now. Well, before it gets too long, I will end. I would like to talk about this 300 miracles 100 times, 1,000 times. No matter how many times I speak about this, still I cannot express this miracle, I think. That's all.